A very cheerful morning, dear students. Welcome to English class. In the previous class, we have discussed and learned the tale of the custard, the dragon, and the remaining three more stanzas of this poem will be discussed today. As we have learned that Belinda embraced Mustard licked him. So Custard the dragon was being appreciated by the rest of the pets of Belinda. Belinda was hugged him and Mustard licked him. No one mourned for his pirate victim. Okay, the pirate had become the victim in the hands of Custard the dragon, because Custard shown its utmost valor and bravery, and it had eaten the pirate. Ink blink in glee, in happiness. Okay, they were in most excitement mood and they started gyrating. Gyrating is nothing but making a circle and appreciating someone. It is nothing but move around in circle. Okay, around the dragon, and that ate the pirate. What is the expression of their excitement? Why are they so excited? Because of eating of the pirate. Pirate was being eaten by this Custard the dragon. Understand? And let's move on to 13th stanza. But presently up spoke little dog Mustard. Until then it was barking, but now it started speaking. Mustard, the yellow dog, started speaking. I had been twice as brave if I had been flustered. Suppose if this situation had come to me, I would be double or twice would become brave. Do you think this Mustard, the dog, was really shown its bravery? No, not at all. It had not shown its bravery, and it was just exaggerating himself, and he wanted to have to show some selfish nature here, and it was not shown any bravery. It was so covered actually. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink, who were also started speaking. Ink, the kitten, and the Blink, that mouse. Both kitten and mouse started speaking like this. We would have been 3 times as brave, we think. Actually, Mustard the dog was just said that double it can show its bravery. But when it comes to Ink and Blink, both kitten and mouse, they were proudly telling that they would be thrice would become bravery. Okay, actually they never show their bravery. They are just telling or showing their show off to Custard the dragon. But who had shown the utmost bravery? Custard the dragon. And Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. Finally, Custard was unable to hear. Okay, it couldn't stand or couldn't tolerate the words spoken by them, and finally it just wanted to appreciate them for their bravery, and he said that they were all braver than him. Belinda still lives in her little white house. There was no fear of any pirate. Still she started living in the White House. Okay, and she still lives in her little White House with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon. Everywhere little, everywhere you can see. This is called repetition. What is it? It's repetition. And Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bags. Okay, why it is shown or compared to barrel full of bags? Once anything is dropped into the barrel, there is no chance of moving anything. So that's why it's been compared. Belinda was compared to a barrel full of bags which doesn't move. It means Belinda was immovable and she never gets scared of anything. Belinda still lives in her little wild house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon. Red wagon is the carrier in which all 4 pets were moving. And her Relio, Trulio little pet dragon. And still this dragon was being considered as the pet animal, and it was showing its bravery, but it was not at all elaborately giving any kind of it is not at all exaggerating its bravery or the greatness. It is not showing its greatness to anyone. Custard was just acting as if it was so scared and it was a coward. Belinda is as brave as the barrel full of bats. And here Belinda compared herself to a barrel full of bats. And Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Do you believe in this? Ink and Blink were not that very brave, but they often say that they were being chasing the lions down the stairs. Mustard is as brave as the tiger in rage. How the tiger is seen with its temper, in the same manner the mustard is showing its bravery. Mustard is as brave as tiger in rage. What kind of comparison, degrees of comparison? It is positive degree. Positive degree of comparison. Of course, we will compare with another, but the equal status we will be expressing here, that is called positive, comparative and superlative. It is the positive degree. Mustard is as brave as, it means it is equally brave as the tiger in rage. Whenever the tiger is found in its rage, however it looks, in the same way, whenever the mustard, looking at a person or a stranger at the gate or who is getting nearer to that house of Belinda, she used to bark at them. But Custard keeps crying for a nice, safe cage. Do you think the cage is really required for this Custard the dragon? Not required. It means it has the hidden talent or the hidden quality is there with her in the dragon's part. Dragon was not covered like other pets of Belinda, but it used to say that somebody should provide her a safe little cage. Actually, cage should be provided and it needs to procure the cage, she used to say. Actually, 15th stanza, it means last stanza, and the 4th stanza are the same. This is called refraining. This kind of literary device is called a refrain, means it can be seen again. The same stanza can be reappearing in the next stage of learning. Belinda is as brave as a barrel full of bats, and Ink and Blink chases the lions down the stairs, and Mustard is as brave as a tiger in rage, but Custard keeps crying for a nice safe cage. Finally, Belinda had to think about how she could arrange a cage for this Custard the dragon. I think you might have enjoyed this poem, and once again you are requested to read the poem and let it finish, and you have to focus much on whatever you have learnt it. And if you can, please go through the thinking about the poem, the questions. Who are the characters in this poem? There are 4 different kinds of pets are there in the poem, and list all of their pet names: Ink, Blink, Custard, and also the Mustard. Mustard is the yellow dog, Ink is the kitten, Blink is the mouse, and the dog is Mustard. Mustard is the dog, and the Custard is the dragon. So the remaining I mean to say, the remaining questions which are there on page number 132 should be answered in your notebooks. Belinda tickled him. She tickled him unmercifully. Why? By tickling they would like to make this custard happy. Actually, custard was not happy like other pets which were being with Belinda. Except custard, the dragon, all other pet animals were very happy with Belinda. So in order to bring a bit of pleasureful nature, if they wanted to give a kind of excitement, cause a kind of excitement to this custard, they all have tickled him. Okay, who have tickled? Belinda tickled him, and she tickled him unmercifully without showing any mercy. Okay, when we receive this kind of action of tickling, we usually get the tears also. Okay, when we were extensively laughing, and simultaneously we will be shedding the tears even. Maybe this animal custard, the dragon also did the same, and she was shown no mercy by Belinda. The poet has employed many poetic devices in the poem. For example, clashed his tail like iron in a dungeon. It's a simile. In the poetic device, here is a simile. Can you, with your partner, list some more such poetic devices used in the poem? Repetition can be seen, alliteration can be seen, and here refraining of the poem and its stanzas can be seen, because 4th stanza and the 15th stanza are as it is. They are similar to each other. Okay, no differentiation can be seen. Do you find the Tale of Custard the Dragon to be a serious or light-hearted poem? Give reasons to support your answer. It is such a light-hearted poem. So whoever opens this poem and start reading, they really get excited to read and finish and enjoy this poetry. Okay, I think according to me, it's a light-hearted poem. This poem is in ballad form, like it tells a story. Have you come across any such modern song or lyric that tells a story? If you know one, tell it to the class. Collect such songs as a project. Okay, we need to do a project work on this. Any ballad you can collect, and it should be converted to English from your local language to English, and you can enjoy this. Now let us move on to the next lesson, the sermon at Benares. Okay, this is lesson number 10. Almost all the lessons we have completed. Now we have come across the 10th lesson, that is the sermon at Benares. Before we go through this, where is Benares located? Benares is located in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, Benares is also called as Kashi. Benares other name is also called Varanasi. Varanasi, Kashi, or none other than Benares. So 3 names it has. How many? 3 names. Ganga is the huge river that passing through or running through this city Benares. Benares is such a great one of the most popular pilgrimage centers. I think you might have, some of you have gone to Kashi, and many of you might have visited these places. Okay, and here in this lesson there is a sermon at Benares. What is sermon? Sermon is nothing but a religious talk. Okay, please underline the word sermon. Sermon is a formal address to the group, a holy message, or by a saint, a monk, or a preacher, or a prophet. Okay, sermon is nothing but a religious talk. Usually this kind of religious talks are given by some preachers. Okay, those preachers are the religious preachers. They can be saints, monks, or any prophets. Okay, and when it comes to sermon at Benares, something very important and very essential event has occurred at Benares, we will see in this lesson. Before we get into this lesson, we need to do a small little activity. Let's do. Use a dictionary or ask for your teacher's help as you discuss the following questions in groups. There are some 3 questions given. What is a sermon? I just said it's a religious or it's a kind of holy message. Is it different from a lecture or a talk? Definitely. It is not a lecture, it is not a talk. It is a religious, message. Can this word also be used in negative way as a joke? As in my mother's sermon about getting my work done on time. My mother's sermon about getting my work done on time. Yes, of course. The word sermon also can be used in a negative manner. The negative sense of sermon also contextually can be attributed to the meaning. Find out the meanings which are given in the box. The first one is like this: afflicted with, lamentation, be composed, desolation, procure, be subjected to. Okay? And afflicted with, it means we get the burden, or we will have a kind of depression, or a kind of upsetness. I mean, getting upset. Okay, not being so happy with it. Okay, afflicted means caused to get pain. Afflicted is nothing but caused to get pain, or get depressed, or getting upset, and there is no mood to do anything because of distress. That's the meaning of afflicted. Lamentation is nothing but sobbing, crying, and wailing, crying, and sobbing. These are all the meanings of lamentation. Be composed. We have to make ourselves ready. Okay, be composed in the sense we have to make ourselves ready to listen or to do something. Okay, procuring something very essential that you have it with you. Procuring means something very essential, very important things that you have it with you. Desolation, that is also becoming so upset, and be subject to. Sometimes we will become a subject to something. Okay, we will be the person, one who can go with it. Be subject to. We get affected. We get affected. And have you heard of the Sermon on the Mount? Who delivered it? Who do you think delivered a sermon at Benares? Have you heard of Sermon on the Mount? Okay, the Sermon on the Mount, where you should find out. There are too many sermons out there given by certain people, especially the religious men. The religious men used to give sermons on the top of the hills, and who delivered it? Okay, when it comes to the New Testament of Bible, okay, Jesus Christ goes to the hill and he started giving the sermon. Okay, people used to listen to him and he delivers the message. Moses also on Sinai, he goes up to the mountain and he starts giving his talk to the Israelis, and he gets all 10 commandments from God. So too many people, according to your own scriptures, Gita, Ramayana and other, so wherever the religious people or the holy men started giving their ceremonial message, that could be continued. This lesson will be continued in the next class, and I request everyone to read the textbook thoroughly and try to answer all 3 questions under activity and get it ready to listen to the lesson. Until we meet again, goodbye children.